Hey everyone, it's Kino here. When you get to the end of the primary series of the Ashtanga method, there are a lot of rolling postures that might not make sense. However, when we roll through the spinal axis, you have to control your body deep in the center of the pelvis. The second portion of the primary series feels like going downhill after we went through that grand crescendo of Supta Karmasana. If you're unfamiliar with what that is, check my other videos in Supta Karmasana. When you're working through the rolling positions, a great technique to learn this is from the posture called Ubhaya Padangusthasana. This is both legs together where you're holding onto your toes. When you work in Ubhaya Padangusthasana, you want to roll through the spine, letting your back round, almost like you're curling into the infinite emptiness deep in the center of your pelvis. That might be a lot to ask from the beginning, but remember it's a combination of a forward fold with a spinal flexion. I'm going to start off lying down, and then from the lying down position, bring your legs up over the top of your head. How you bring the legs is the beginning of the whole movement. First, stand your legs up, coming to perpendicular with the ground. Suck in the low belly so the lower back is already on the ground. Leave your hands next to your hips. Point your toes. Pull the heads of the femurs into the sockets and fold as deeply forward as you can. So you almost come to a reclining forward fold. Next, lift your legs up over the top of the head and curl your toes under. Roll under the shoulders so you can really feel the shoulders rolling underneath you. The position of the back is important. First, you can lift the hips powerfully up, but then you're going to allow the back to round. Squeeze your thighs towards each other. Hold on to your big toes. Pause here. Then inhale, and as you exhale, fold in to that slow, steady forward fold. Don't use momentum, but use the strength of the abs, and then inhale, come all the way up. All right, so you fold through the movement. Now to test yourself out to see, am I good in the posture? You're gonna release your hands and see if you can hold it. Holding without your hands, then again, hold on, pointing the toes. And then exhale, gently release. Now, if you don't have the flexibility of the posture, that's going to be evident when you do that first lying down forward fold. You're going to work on flexibility in postures like Paschimottanasana, basic forward fold, because these postures assume that you already have the flexibility. Now, when you're doing this posture, I find a lot of people, there are two things to look out for. A lot of people will have their knees on the outside of the arms. It's really hard to straighten your arms when the knees are on the outside like this because your knees need to be on the inside. If you're going to bend your knees, the knees have to be on the inside of the arms, okay? Now, second thing is the flexibility. If when you lie back on the ground, you come to a point where your hamstrings want to bend because they're not flexible enough to let the leg be straight and the knees bend, then you know that your flexibility is not there. So this basic position where you're doing a seated, reclining forward fold, this will help test out, do you have the flexibility to really get into the posture? Are the thighs pressing close into the body? If you can't lie flat with your chest close to your thighs, when you bring your legs up over the top of the head, they're going to bend and kind of move out to the side. So you want to make sure that you have that basic flexibility so that when you move up, you roll through your flexibility, lead with the heels after you find the balance, then point the toes, keeping the shoulder blades moving away from each other, dropping the head back and gazing all the way up. To test out the strength again, you release the hands, hold on again, and then gently release. This is a perfect posture to test out whether you have your core connected into your flexibility. Sometimes you'll find that you have the flexibility for Paschimottanasana, but you don't have it through the fluidity of the motion. What you're missing in that case is dynamic flexibility. What that means is flexibility where you can be strong at the same time. So just work patiently every day and you'll slowly find your way into the movement. Surrender into the journey, don't rush. Don't try to do it with the arms, do it with your core, let your pelvis be the driver, and one day you'll find your way into the posture.